1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are called burpees. They're a very good exercise. They practically hit your whole entire body. And as I said, they're really good for just building your body overall, building overall strength. And it's a very demanding exercise to do, especially in the conditions that I was in. I've been training out here in the martial arts in the last few hours, and I just finished my workout off with 10 burpees. And that was after being out here for hours training in the martial arts. Very demanding. Now, how to do a burpee. It is a 5-count exercise. It is done as such. On the count of 1, you go to the ground in a squat position. Your hands go to the ground. Number 2, you kick your feet back. 3, you do a push-up. 4, your feet return to squat position. And 5, you jump up and clap. So, it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, to all you people out there in YouTube land who are watching this, I'll have you know that out here it's at least 90 degrees and it is so humid that you could almost cut the atmosphere, you can almost cut the air with a knife. It's important to stay very well hydrated in such conditions. But as for my martial arts workout, I'll say this much. I did over 1,000 kicking combos just now, and I just finished my workout off with those 10 burpees, and as you can see, I'm drenched with sweat. It takes a lot of self-discipline, a lot of determination. It's not something for lazy people. So anybody who wants to call me lazy and or undisciplined, think twice. Why don't you come out here and train with me? When you can do over 1,000 martial arts combos and keep up with me, then you can call me lazy, and then you can call me undisciplined. Some people have called me lazy and undisciplined because they didn't get all the best grades in school. I was around a BC average, whereas somebody might say, oh, if you're really disciplined, you would have gotten an A average. Well, if I went to public school, I might have gotten an A average. I did go to a really hard private school where they bring the workload up and they bring the standards up. But aside from that, just because you don't do well in school doesn't mean you're lazy, doesn't mean you're undisciplined. A lazy person couldn't do what I just did. After all, the Bible says a lazy man doesn't eat. And as a believer in the Bible, I agree with that. Now, I know there's some people who think that the Bible's a fantasy book. That's your prerogative. I respect your belief. But I'd ask you to respect my belief in the Bible. In this country, the great USA, we're allowed to believe what we want. Now, not wanting to do well in school, maybe you'd rather do well in other stuff. I chose to excel in the martial arts rather than in school. And talk about lazy, you call this lazy? I'll tell you what lazy is. Sitting in a nice air-conditioned classroom, or for that matter, sitting at home in a nice air-conditioned house on a nice comfortable couch with the books open and studying those books. Nice comfortable positions. Nothing like this, nothing at all. Just because you don't want to do a certain kind of work doesn't mean you're lazy. After all, look at the slaves. They were forced to work for their masters. And I would say the vast majority of slaves didn't want to do that work. But they weren't lazy, they just wanted freedom. They wanted to be free. It's just like any human being would want. Like take for instance Frederick Douglass. He did gain his freedom. He worked hard and he gained his freedom. And after he became a free man, he still worked hard. He worked really hard after becoming a free man. He wrote his autobiography, and he did a really good job with that, and I have to admire him. He didn't have the benefit of a formal education, yet he practically taught himself how to read and write. Obviously a very smart person, very hardworking, very determined. The difference, though, is when he became free, the work he was doing, it was work of his choice. And he was doing it for himself, not some slave master. And that's why I train in the martial arts, because that's work of my choice. And yes, I'm not a dropout. I did get through school and all that. But just because somebody does drop out doesn't mean they're lazy or stupid. Like I said, maybe they just don't want to do that kind of work and they work hard with other stuff. Just like Frederick Douglass didn't want to do all that work for his slave masters. And so he became free. And then he did work of his own choosing for himself. And that's how I feel about school. Now, Frederick Douglass, I know he did say that knowledge is the key to freedom, and I agree with him on that. However, the knowledge that Frederick Douglass obtained, it was knowledge of his choosing, and he was for the most part self-taught. It wasn't forced down his throat. And I think if Frederick Douglass was alive today, he'd be disgusted with how schools are run. You have to do work of your choice. I believe in freedom, independence, and hard work, and that includes doing work of your choice. So anybody here who thinks I'm lazy because they didn't do well in school, I'll see you in the dojo. I'll see you, let's do a martial arts workout with me, and you'll see just how lazy I am, or for that matter, just how lazy you are. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.